Hello everyone, this is a BT Messenger project which I have built. So this project consists of an Arduino Nano, a LCD display and a Bluetooth module, and I built this app using MIT App Inventor too. So I can send a message from my phone to the BT Messenger and it will be displayed on the LCD screen. For example, hello, and I send it. So it is displayed on the LCD screen, and I can send a voice message as well. For example, YouTube. So it's displayed on the LCD screen as well. This is the circuit of the project sourced from Arduino Code. Please note that the TX pin of the Arduino Nano is connected to the RX pin of the HCO5, and the RX pin of Arduino Nano is connected to the TX pin of HCO5, and also the serial communication of HCO5, that is the TX and RX pin, has to be disconnected when the code is being uploaded to the Arduino. I'll write a sketch for this project and I'll try to keep the code as simple as possible. So let's start by including two libraries, which is wire and liquid crystal I2C library. Wire library is installed by default. Liquid crystal I2C library can be included or can be downloaded from GitHub and can be added as in the .zip file. So let's create an object of liquid crystal I2C. So we got to specify the I2C address of this and the dimensions of the LCD. So the I2C address by default is 0x27, and the dimensions of the LCD module I'm using is 16:2. And in the void setup, let's start the LCD by initializing it, LCD.init. These are all the functions which are there in liquid crystal I2C library. And let's turn on the backlight by LCD.backlight. And let's start the serial monitor as well. We're not going to use the serial monitor yet, but we're going to be using the serial communication so that we can get the message which is being sent from the mobile to the Arduino, to the Bluetooth module, and then to the Arduino. So let's start serial communication. So let's use the default rate of 9600 watts, and let's also write a message in the initial that there is no message here. In the void loop, let's first check if there's anything sent to the sent in the serial communication. So serial.available can write greater than 0 or equal to 1, but this is by default considered as if it is 1 only, it's going to execute this. So only if the value over here is true. So it returns a boolean as well. So we can just write like this: if serial.available, then we can read the string of string message is serial.readString. So this is a function serial class is used to read a string, and we can actually just display it to the LCD module. So we have written no message here, so we'll first clear that LCD.clear and LCD.print the message, and let's go to the next line by using LCD.setCursor. So LCD.setCursor at 0, 1, and let's print the message. LCD.print message. Let's just add a time delay of a few milliseconds for each loop of delay 10. So this is basically the code which I have used in Arduino. I'm going to build an app for this project using MIT App Inventor 2. So I'm going to start with changing the background of the screen to black to make it to a dark mode. And I'm also going to be using an icon for this app, which is the image of a Bluetooth, which is BT. And I'm also going to be changing the title of the screen to the name of the app, which is BT Messenger Code. And to start with, I'm going to be using a layout of horizontal arrangement of dimensions as 20% of the screen as height and width as potential, and align horizontal and vertical to the center. And I'm going to be using a label which shows us the name of the app, which is BT Messenger 2 with dimensions 1500. and font size let's say 20, text alignment is center, and the text is running there, which is VT messaging 2. Background color let's say orange, and I'm going to be adding another horizontal arrangement of dimensions of 15 and 100, and align horizontal and align vertical to the center. I'm going to be adding a list picker over here with dimensions as 10 and 100. Background color let's say as yellow for now, and text as connect to VT. I'm going to be adding another horizontal arrangement of dimensions 10 and 100, which has two user interface components, one is a label and a text box. Dimensions are 10 and 50 each. Text alignment center, text as message. Background color let's say green, and again 10 and 50. And the hint as type message here. And I'm also going to say that max 16 characters, as we're going to use only the second and the HTML module. Only a max of 16 characters can be displayed. If more than 16 characters are sent, only the first 16 characters will be displayed in the HTML module. And I'm also going to be adding a multiline so that hint is clearly displayed on the screen. And I'm going to be using another horizontal arrangement of dimensions 30 and 100. Line horizontal and line vertical to the center, and a button for the speech recognizing function with dimensions 25 and 50, and with the image of a microphone. Yeah. I'm going to add another horizontal arrangement of dimensions 25 and 100. Align horizontal and vertical to the center, and I'm going to add two buttons as well. One is to clear text box, and the other is to send the content of text box to the Bluetooth module with dimensions as 10 and 50 each. Background color let's say as red, text as clear, and again 10 and 50. Background color green, text as sent. I'm going to be adding two more components. One is the connectivity, which is Bluetooth strand. Another is the speech recognizing function, which is there in media. Speech recognizing. So the design of the app. Next time I'm going to have a program using the blocks and MIT App Inventor. So I'm going to start with list picker 1. Before picking, set list picker 1 elements. List picker 1 elements to Bluetooth slide 1 address endings. Yeah. And list picker 1. After picking, if Bluetooth client 1 connect address, list picker 1 selection, then list picker 1, let's say the text, to VT connected. And let's also change the background color to green. And else the Bluetooth connection is not successful then, let's set the list picker 1.text to VT connection failed. just pick up one background color to let's say red. Yeah. So basically when the button 1 is clicked, button 1 here is speech recognition. So when it is pressed, let's call speech recognizer 1 and get the text. And speech recognizer 1, after getting the text, let's set the text box text to the to the result of the speech recognizer 1. Text box 1, yeah, text. To the result of the speech recognizer 1. And we also have two more buttons. One is to clear the content in the text box, which is button 2, and another is to send the content in the text box. So when button 2 is clicked, we want to set the text of the text box to empty string. And when button 3 is clicked, we want to send the content in the text box through Bluetooth to the HCFI module and then to the Arduino. So Bluetooth line 1, send text, yeah, text box 1.text. So basically this is the programming done using blocks in MIT App Inventor. We can connect it through the MIT AI Companion 2, or we can, after testing the working of the Zap, we can even build the APK of the Zap and upload it to a phone, and then we can use the Zap for a project. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and please subscribe.